Imagine a woman of unstoppable faith, unwavering courage, and unshakable confidence. A woman who shines bright with the light of God, inspiring others to do the same. This is the woman described in Proverbs 31, a woman of wisdom, courage, and beauty. A woman who is the beacon of hope, a source of inspiration, and the living proof of the transformative power of God. At the P31W annual retreat, we're committed to empowering you to step into the fullness of your destiny. Join us on this transformative journey as we explore what it means to be a modern-day Proverbs 31 woman. At the P31W annual retreat, we invite you to join a community of like-minded women who are passionate about becoming the best version of themselves. Through powerful sessions and transformative experiences, you'll be empowered to unlock your full potential, overcome limitations, and step into the fullness of your destiny. Join us on this journey. Become the woman God has designed you to be. Powered by the P31W network.
I was asked to say this. Everyone who is here is buying 5 years of productivity for themselves. And that's just the truth. People who are not here are creating 5 years of gap in their journey through life. And that's just the truth. 5 years from now, the results that will come from the lives of the people in this room will be a shocker to the lives of people who did not make themselves available for this meeting. I've seen this happen in cycles of life. I mean, when we were trained by DP, those GLI days, DLI days, we'll just be running from one room to another, one training room to another. And then 7 years down the line, the results are showing. Do you understand? And there were people who were there with us, but they just were not available. There was a season pastor trained intercessors. Those intercessors, and that season came, it was just, Mommy Sarah started it, put a cap on it. That season, everyone that was always in that room is a powerful intercessor today. And these things don't come, I don't know when next DP will call a room of people and be training intercessors. Do you understand? So these things come in seasons, and it's not forever. So congratulate yourself for being here and congratulate your 5 years self, in advance. So the topic is building a compelling personal brand. So it's just like one segment in what Pastor Phoebe taught us in the Wheel of Life, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Generally, it's a journey, like, we've been told from the onset. Building a personal brand is not something that happens in a day, but you have to start from somewhere where you are. Okay? Great. So, first of all, we'll just introduce the topic. We'll talk about your story, your brand, crafting your brand message, building your presence, authenticity and relatability, case studies and conclusion. So personal brand is basically the process of establishing and maintaining a unique image, reputation, and identity for yourself. And it's very important that it is tied to the purpose for which you believe God has called you to be called. So when you have discovered your purpose from what we learned from Pastor Chioma today, you align the identity that you want to build, with the purpose that you have decided to fulfill. For example, and when you're defining your identity or your personal brand, it's very important to note that your goal is to inspire people to take action. However you present yourself, your goal is to inspire people to take action, right? Now, you also need to understand that I'm still in introduction, just introducing, building your personal brand. You need to know that every one of us is called for a unique purpose. We already know that. Nobody was born a mistake. Bible says in Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5, Pastor Choma gave us that scripture, that before you were born, I knew you. So no matter what is your background story, there's something they used to tell us, there's no illegitimate child, right? What we have are illegitimate parents. Good. So for someone like me, I wasn't raised by my biological parents, and none of my biological parents are alive today. None of them lived a good life, both mother and father, right? But do I look it? No, because God has helped me. First of all, placed me in a family. Bible says he places the solitary in family. And that family where I belong, where God put me in, looking back, I know why I belong to that family. I could not have thrived under my biological parents. In fact, I would have been an efulefu. That's just the truth. My biological mother did not have a single man that she called husband. She had 2 children from different men. And the men, by the time she was having us, the men, okay, not my own father, the second person, the man was a married man. That's the kind of life she lived, right? And then my father was a drunk, a pervert, until he became sick in his 70s and then died. So I cannot tie myself to where I'm coming from. So no matter what your background story is, there's a unique purpose for which you were created. And your trajectory in life points to that personal brand, that thing. And your personal brand must be tied to that purpose. That's why Pastor Choma taught us that we have to pray to create that persona. Requires birthing, right? Another important thing, there's something Pastor Choma used to teach about identity. Your identity should not be, somebody has mentioned it, I think Pastor Phoebe, should not be, I'm a self-made billionaire. There's no self-made billionaire anywhere. It's just, some of them is just God's mercy. But we know that God is the one that helps us, and our identity is supposed to be rooted in the finished work of Christ. We don't have much time. Ephesians chapter 1 from verse 1. I don't know who has watched this movie, Overcomer. Yes. When at the start of the movie, Priscilla Shire, the war room woman, she kept asking that girl, who are you? Who are you? Until she referred her to that scripture. And the day the girl read it, I am redeemed. I am chosen. I am blessed. Everything in Christ. In Christ. In Christ. And the day, in fact, that scene still gives me goosebumps till today. The day she got that revelation, they now asked her, so who are you? She said, I am this, I am that. And she was just narrating it. So our identity, anything we are building must be built on the biblical values. It must be built on that Ephesians chapter 1. Let me tell you something that happened to me. The season when I went through the challenges that Pastor Phoebe was talking about. The challenges had to do with my mind, right? Some days it felt like I was going crazy. And that's why she was saying that I wasn't resting. My mind was not resting, so the mind was overworked. Some days, the enemy will tell me, and I'll literally feel like the enemy is there standing, that God is not real. There's no God. It's not true. Everything you believe in is a lie. And it will be so, we're saying it now. It sounds like it can never be. Who understands that feeling? I don't know. It will never happen to any of us. So I said, it will be so bad. I'll be screaming, but it will feel like nobody's hearing the scream. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. what saved me one night was Ephesians chapter 1 from verse 1 to 14. That part of scripture, Ephesians chapter 1 from verse 1 to 14. And I had to start reading it out loud so that the enemy can hear. I did that for like 30 minutes until that thing lifted and I got myself. If my identity was, and I was already breaking waves before I experienced this. If I was building my personal brand on myself, this thing, I would not be standing here with you people. I'll probably be locked up at Yabale or in the grave. I went through a lot that season. So the pictures are not showing the format, but it's okay. So it's very, very important that whatever we are building, any personal brand you're building, please, I hope we're making sense. There's a trajectory to what we're saying. You know, whatever brand you're building must be rooted and grounded on biblical values. It must be rooted and grounded in the finished work of Christ. So that will now determine, some people, their personal brand is funny dressing. You can't have a personal brand that is somebody wearing bikini all the time if it's rooted on biblical values. Are you getting what I'm saying? You can't have a personal brand that talks to people anyhow online. When you're talking, your tone is, you people cannot even come and buy my things. Because you know that is not how a Christian woman should sound. The ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, right? So very, very important. Now, building a personal brand is an asset. That's why it's important. It's an asset. It's an asset. Pastor Phoebe just told us now, when you're building your network and somebody thinks, at least when somebody thinks hair, even if it's not my line of hair, Oluchi does something hair, let's even call her. I get a lot of calls. My daughter has lice. My daughter has this. My daughter is, I am this. I'm experiencing this. Some of them I have expertise in doing. Some I don't yet to have. But because I projected myself as somebody that helps people with their hair. If somebody wants to buy wig, but that's not my line. Do you get what I'm saying? So you need to, it's an asset that brings value. I mean, it's an asset that is valuable, that can bring money your way, or funds or resources. Do you understand? That's why it's very important to have a personal brand. Okay, so in building your brand, you have to start with why. Why am I doing this? Remember, when I was telling you people about hair, I said that I already know that my ministry has to do with children and mothers. So I had to craft something in that line to be able to service, to be able to draw them to me. That is part of my why. Because, see, the journey of having a personal brand for business or for career is not easy. You're going to meet obstacles along the way. And it's this why that will keep you. Right? It's this your why that will keep you. Sometimes I'm like, man, this hair thing, I want to stop. The thing doesn't want to pick up. I've not blown. The Holy Spirit will remind me, is it money? In fact, sometimes it's not even the Holy Spirit. My husband will say, is it money you want to make? Is there any money in this world that people have not made? Is it about money, really? I say, but I need money now. He said, you need money. Focus on this thing. Drive it first. So sometimes it's not just, you have to, because let me tell you, I don't know. Think about somebody that inspires you online. Or just generally. Someone that inspires us. DDK. Okay. Ibuku Awoshika. Right? Ibuku Awoshika. Whenever you think about her, what comes, is it the money in her bank account that comes to mind? As in, and it's so funny, by the end of this, you will see why she's so powerful. Ibuku Awoshika inspires. You're scrolling through Instagram. Once he gets to her video, I want to hear what she has to say. I want to listen. Do you understand? So if anything Ibuku starts now, all of us, we are going with her. Why? Because she inspires us into action. She inspires us to do better than what we ordinarily would do. Why are we here? Pastor Phoebe inspires me. Ha! Camp meeting, let me give an example. Camp meeting was hard. Was camp meeting hard? Planning it, executing. Okay, some people don't know. You know. You know. She knows. See, camp meeting was hard. But look, in fact, in the middle of the thing, I said, I am not doing this because Pastor David, I'm not even doing it for God. I'm doing it for this woman. Yes. Because sometimes things were so hot. Babes. I would just see Pastor Baby doing this, and I'm like, man. She just come to say we come. I say, and I senior her. I senior this woman with some months. I'm like, and I'm like, no, be my junior, be this. I say, man, I have so. You see me, you see somebody that inspires you to action. There's a brand behind it. And she'll tell me, I don't have money. I say, oh God, madam, you don't need money. Oh. We are here. What is it that you need? We are here. I say, you don't need money. It's not about money. So when you're building your brand, money should not, you should aim to inspire people to action. Look at Martin Luther King. Look at what he stood for. Many years later, we can walk into America, do what we like. Who has lived abroad here? Racism that is one of the reasons why I don't want to job. I don't want to be second-class citizen anywhere. But what that man did, reported many years later. And why did people follow him? He didn't have money. He was just a black man. And you know, when we are small, we would think Martin Luther King was one rich man that had everything. No. He had a message. I have a dream. Period. He had a why. I have a dream that black people will become equal. Because then, there's a lot. Then, in offices, there'll be colored bathrooms, those things are no more there, but there are societies where they are so subtle. When I was doing my master's in the UK, this thing literally happened. I'm not telling cock and bull. We finished an assignment and people failed. You know, it was over 20. I even got 14. I said, me 14? I was just doing 14. All the Yoruba people got 17, 18. I said, if people understand this place so more than us, you know, in my Nigeria, I was a local champion. And I walked up to one of them white guys. Dude, please, can I see you or what you did? Do you know what this guy told me? He said, are you going to sell it? I said, wait, come again. He said, you're not going to sell it, are you? Sell his assignment to who? Because I'm black, I'm now going to sell your assignment. Like I'm that stupid. I don't understand. Like, they can tell you anything just because of the color of your skin. They don't feel like, yeah, exactly. It's like, why are you asking me? It was like sarcasm. In those days, if you're in a class, so I read an Oyibo man's course. So there were few blacks. So it was more of white people, geology. So when we, the blacks, the Africans, when we answer a question, they will literally turn to the white person and said, well, how can you be here? And she answered that question right. So want somebody like Martin Luther King, let's not deviate. Yeah, literally happened to our face. Like, it made me so sad. Like, I was getting sadder and sadder and sadder. I said, in my country, I don't even know if I'm black or white. Like, I'm P.Luchi from Anambra State, period. And everybody just took me like that. You know, but in this place, you know, but what Martin Luther King did was even bridge some of those gaps. They can't do it publicly. It's not legal. If you see do you know why I know how to write? Do you know why I know how to write? I cannot count how many applications, job applications I did. You will write essay. Who has done job applications in the UK? You know what I mean? You go write essay, explain. You know, I don't know who has watched Hidden Figures. That's when I even knew what happened though. You know, but Martin Luther King came up with a message. I have a dream that black people will just be normal. Do you understand? And many years later, that dream, when he was pursuing it, people were willing to die for that vision. Of course, his vision was rooted in biblical principles, right? But some people didn't even understand Bible self. They were just following. He has a dream. Let's be going. Do you understand? So when you define your personal brand, you're able to inspire people into action. And you need that on your journey to fulfilling destiny. Very, very important, right? And you know the funny thing, there's still room for the kingdom side. And some of the people it's so funny when you observe some of the people who say that they are, currently, that they are kingdom personal, you can see that there's really no substance. So there's a great need for kingdom-based personal brands.
I don't know if me and Nigeria just voice it out at the same time. Is what because this generation is suffering from, they do more of phototropic growth without gravitropic growth. So they are trying to be visible and
they've not built downwards. They've not built downwards. One small thing happens to you. You know, some of us, some people have network and they are able to repost their posts or do something or project them. Some of us don't even have. And God doesn't want you to be visible because there are some things that are still yet to be knocked into you. Because if you become visible, you will mess up. You will fall God's hand. Do you understand? So some people are pushed into the spaces, prematurely. Sometimes you're like, God, why is this thing not working? No, incubate, birth, spend time. Who knew Ibuku Awoshika 20 years ago? Do you think she just became Ibuku Awoshika today? Now she has gray hair. She can teach you with her gray hair. You know the hide. I'm wise. I know what I'm saying, girl. Do you understand? And when she speaks, we want to listen. Want to follow her. Oh, she's having a talk. I'm going there. Do you understand? So let's keep going. So always start with why. Why? Because that is what will help you inspire, and that's what will help you to be your brand to be sustainable. That's what will help your brand to be sustainable, right? And it's that inspiration that will make people follow you. If you're not inspiring anybody into action, there's no impact. Who are you impacting? And how will you now have a fulfillment if there's no impact? So starting with why is very key. And if you start with why, you can actually build your brand without resources. Yeah. Like money will flow to you. You are not the one running to money. Money will just naturally flow to you because you're a person of value and you inspire. That was one of the things I learned very early when I started my business. Money flows towards value. Okay? You don't have to run after money. So, the next thing is crafting your story. Your story is very important. And, I think it was, I don't know, Pastor Phoebe or Pastor, someone has taught us that you start with the end in mind, right? You can actually predict your life. Life is predictable. You can actually build your story yourself and walk in it. It was in GLI that Pastor taught us the power. That was where we learned secrets. That's the word, secrets. Where we learned what they use what Oprah Winfrey used and all that. How they have an image and they start, imagination. Pastor Phoebe taught us that. And we start work. That GLI training, That thing did something to me, and I can never forget it. So in building your story, you know, when people are crafting their personal brand and all that, they make them, what do you make yourself? The hero or the person that needs, or, okay, thank you. This is one of the books I read while building my brand, and I have to read it again. Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. Thank you for bringing it. I didn't want to, okay. So there's a character and there's a hero. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? So, you've watched series. Let's just take it back. You watch series. Pastor Phoebe talked about series, right? And in a series, maybe there's somebody that needs to achieve something. And then for each episode, there's someone that helps the person achieve the thing. So now there's a hero and there's a character. Who is the hero in building a brand? Who do you think is the hero? The person that helps, okay? Do you want to try? The character. Who said the character? The character. No. So there's a character that needs something done. Right? So, and there's a hero. Sorry, there's a hero, right? How would I put it? So that, let me not use, there's somebody that needs help. And there's someone that needs to take that person from the point of not having help to the point of, receiving the help. Who do you think is the hero? Is it the person that needs help or the person giving the help? Really?
No, the person that receives the help is the hero. But the person that is helped now achieves.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
The person that is helped and now achieves what he's been helped to do
is the hero. She's right. So the person that needs help is the hero. Is the character. While the person bringing the help is you. You are supposed to provide a solution to somebody that is supposed to be a hero. For example, Pastor Choma today taught us about purpose. And we're heading to help a group of people, right? So she is not the hero. I am the hero that is supposed to help mothers. But Pastor Choma will take my hand. I'll take my hand and guide me to become the hero I'm supposed to be. So the people you're helping are the hero, not you. If you make that mistake, you will make yourself the God. And that's what a lot of brands make mistake in. Like for me now, I help young moms care for their children's natural hair. The hero is the mother. To the child, I can never be the hero to a child I don't know, far away. So in building my brand, I have to make the mom the center of my purpose. Right? So, yeah, exactly. Your customers are your heroes. Right? So, while you are now supposed to now be the one holding the person, so you're just a part of the person's life. I will help her grow her child's hair. Pastor Choma will come and help her discover purpose. Pastor Phoebe will come and help her do structure her life. She has to become a hero in her life. We all have to become heroes, right? In the different, and we also should help other people become heroes in their various. Is that making sense? So when you're crafting your personal brand, you have to make your customer, your target person, the hero. Make the person the center in crafting your story. That's the point. That's one unique point this book makes. And he said that everybody that follows this pattern in creating their brands and all that, always a success. A company like Apple, they want to help customers think differently. Think different. That's what do you call it? And at the time Apple came out, there was nothing like mobile computers. Computers were just one big glue that was so expensive. So, but they wanted to make everybody a hero in their various spheres. They wanted everybody to use computers. So, they went on that journey and then built something. That is why everybody, except me, is using a laptop that has Apple in front of it. Or at least, okay, you have an iPhone here. Where my iPhone has, you have an Apple laptop or an iPad or something made by Steve Jobs and Wozniak, because their target was not to build products. Their target was to help people achieve. So your story has to be around that. Now, in building your story, in doing all that, you now have to identify your strengths. What can I help somebody achieve? What are my strengths? Nanya is good at organizing, doing all these graphics, doing all this. That is my strength. Keeping records. Some people figures. I can help you do your book. I can help you do this. So when you identify your strengths, what Pastor Choma taught us, shape. That's where these things come in, right? Identify your strengths, the things that set you apart, articulate your passion, determine your audience. All these things are good, right? They are the actual work you have to do. But it's very important to understand who is helping who is actually the center. I can remember then when we wanted to launch our products, we launched it after the lockdown. And I put up a post, Mom, you are the hero, we are just your guide. People were writing the comments, no, you are a hero, you are a hero. I said, these people don't understand. I even attracted them to come and be talking. And it helped us sell, making them the center. And that's part of, our brand messaging. You're the hero, mommy. We are just your guy. We're just here to guide you, right? So you're not. So there's something they say. Inspiring leaders. How do they say it? Some people lead because they are in a position of influence. They are in position, but some people want you to just lead them. Some people inspire followership, not because they are in a position of. And it's because they are not making themselves the center. I told you people about, and I'm still a learner because I have very few followers. If you don't make yourself the center, like you said, Jesus, you have to lay down your life. It's biblical. He said that he who tries to save his life will lose it. But he who lays down his life will find it. So being behind the scene and helping somebody achieve their goals is good for you. It's a plus for you. It's a bonus point. And that's a journey into this personal branding thing. Because what we see today is wanting to put yourself. There's something Pinello said while we were talking. She said, this mindset of personal brand being a microphone thing is making people not know their season of service, their season where they're supposed to help people, and they think that when they are helping that they are not achieving purpose. They don't know that that's actually when you're fulfilling it, because you're helping somebody become a hero. You're building brand. Do you understand? So life is in seasons, and you need to understand that. In crafting your personal brand statement, so, as you're creating you have to be intentional, like Pastor Phoebe has said. Everything has to be documented. I like that every single person here has a note. This habit of copying notes. See, everybody's holding notes here. It's not like that outside, though. So, in crafting your personal brand statement, you have to be concise. You have to keep it short. Why? Because let's say you're seeking funding or seeking partnership, and you're seeking it with a big person. You don't want to be telling the person long stories, you know, and person doesn't have time. You have to be concise. You have to be authentic, you know. There's something I used to say. I left a high power job, oil and gas. And I wasn't a mumudeo. I was good at what I was doing, right? And I really wanted to be that boss lady, like boss oil and gas girl. And then resigning was not easy. Honestly, I did it. People said, you resign. But inside, it was, I wrote an essay, my Do It Afraid story. Omilola Oshikoya did something. I did a competition. I won, you know. And we went and told our story. It was scary. It was scary. And what was I going to do? To teach mothers how to do their children's hair. I had to be authentic. I had to be vulnerable. I had to come, this is what I'm doing, I'm no more that girl that is interpreting seismic, you know, and telling you where the oil is and how much it is. I'm no more that girl. I'm now doing hair. You know, it was it was a shocker to a lot of people. You know, if a passenger was saying in her industry, she was a supply chain kiki, we know you. That's how it was for me. Pastor Mecca knows. We're in the same class. Yes, we were classmates. Geology. Let me tell you something. Those days, I wasn't very good at preaching the gospel, you know. Those days, I commanded so much, you know, respect from people that before people wrote exams, they must do my tutorial. Pastor Mecca will come and tell me, God is giving you a platform. You need to use it to preach. You know that? You need to use it. Oluchi, you need to understand. You need to use this to... Oh God, I don't like preach. I beg, let me just teach what I came to teach. And the whole class, 150 of them, they want to hear what I have to say before they write their exam. You know, so you have to, that's how, you know, but God helped me. God really helped me. A lot of things had to break for me to resign, calm down, you know, and that's why it's very important to start with why. The reason is not hair. It's not hair. It's not hair. We need to disciple these women. Their children have to stop dying before their time. And their children cannot be, and they themselves as women cannot be living a playful lives when there's purpose to achieve. Do you know? You know Pauline prayers? Maybe we know what Pauline prayers is. You're in the university. You know Pauline prayer? Look, go outside the streets. What is... Do you know when it shocked me when I used to pray online? Who knows Pauline prayer? No, man, we don't know it. But who boy you Dominion City? You know, as you're entering the gate, Ephesians chapter 1 verse 1. If you've not prayed that prayer, you're not in Dominion City. The eyes of my understanding be enlightened. That's where we start from. You don't know Pauline, you know. Sometimes I have to hold myself. Mommy, you don't know Pauline prayer. You know what is Pauline prayer? I'll now start explaining. It's the prayers that Paul wrote in his letters, and you will be shocked what is out there. So these mothers need this. During lockdown, if you see the way P.Luchi, please help us. We don't even know how to do devotion because there was time. Wow. Yes, some people don't know how to have devotion. Oh, you're in Dominion City. They taught you Christian devotion in foundation school. Some people don't know how to do it. Some people don't even know where to start. So these are the things that God was revealing to me that needed to be done. Do you understand? And a lot of people don't know this. They don't. So the darkness requires somebody to go into and go in strategically. Look, even the hair self, don't they tire me because I want to do other things. As in, I have so many ideas. I want to do other things, but I have to stay on it. And you know the funny thing, I stopped because of my challenges. I'll be going on the streets. Are you not Mona and Luchi? That prayers you used to pray, they will not tell me hair products. It happens to me. I'll be going shopping. I know this girl now. See her hair. Mona. Oluchi. It's you now. It's you. That prayers you used to do, you stopped it. How come? That thing used to. They would not ask me about hair products. So they said creation is awaiting. Create your brand, my sisters. Build it. Trust God. I was telling one of my staff today, I said, look, this business, it was built. When I resigned, I just had 100K. That's all I had. I went to Balogun and I bought silk fabrics. Took it to tailor. Please make satin bonnets. That's how I started. And even till today, is God, as we're about to do like this, as the thing don't tire me, as we're about to, let's just close this thing. One small money will land. Bam, oh yeah, continue. Be pushing it. Be pushing it. Money that I would not expect. Okay, I will help you. Oh yeah. This money that I won recently, if you people would know, next year, what God is telling me is you're going to start being bold. Like Pastor Phoebe says, stop playing small. Stop all these small children thing that you've been doing since. You've done it enough. Next year, you have to start taking the bull by the horns. Because I have taught you, this is what the Holy Spirit was telling me. I have taught you that I can never leave you. Are you not seeing it? You started with 100K. Is it 100K you're making today? Did anybody dash you 150 million? Has there ever been a time? And help. If I tell you how much has come from my family, you'll be very ashamed of my family for me. Because, look, God will not send help from the sources that you're expecting. He won't. Before lockdown, my husband, the village I don't like going to. I hate going to village. The first big lump sum money I got was from my husband's cousin's wife. She just called me, Ollie, just take this. The first lump sum money I ever received. I said, Auntie, who taught you? She said, I was just moved. Wow. I want to help you. That's what she said. She said, anytime you need anything, call me. I've not even really, when you'll be like, there you go, let them not say. Meanwhile, helper is there. She said, anytime you need help, call me. They have a big hospital in Port Harcourt. So she's now in that level where she wants to pull people up. She just sent me that money. I was rolling on the floor. I said, hey, not my father, not my sister, not my uncle. No, and I have those people that can give me. So God is telling me now, look, has there ever been a time this business needed something and you didn't get it? Or you start thinking. None. Because his kingdom is tied to it. And so he will provide the resources. So he said, you have to start taking the bull by the horn. If it's 50 million you want, go and collect. Nothing will happen. Don't be scared. Nothing will happen. So I'm also giving you that charge. You can start bold, you can start small. Anywhere that you, Pastor Phoebe will say, start big. But at least start. Build your brand, okay? Great, let's move to the next slide. So this is how to craft very concise, unique value proposition. I help who? Who are you helping so that they can achieve? I used to say I help young moms care for their children's natural hair. But now we say we help busy moms. Busy families to achieve easy hair care. So we just think Mona and Luchi, think easy hair care. That's what we're doing now. It's just straight. But you can start with this. Because if a big man asks you, so what exactly do you do? Don't say I'm an accountant or all those things. I help SMEs understand their numbers. The numbers! I'm a numbers girl. I help SMEs understand their financial targets. Bam. Money. Money makes the world go round. I move it. I move it for people. Move it around. Move it where it needs to be. Just say it like that. I help people. I help who. Remember what I wrote here. Building your presence. Building your presence. It's not about online. When did online even start? Less than 15 years ago. But before then, people were making influence. People were influencing people. People were raising disciples. You need to develop yourself in such a way that you're a person of value everywhere you go. Whether you're online or offline, be a person of value. In line with what you have. Remember what I wrote here. See what I wrote here. I said the number one thing is content. The first thing somebody will say content creation. That's not what content is. Content is what you have to offer the world that you're called to reach. Your value. What can I benefit from spending 5 minutes with you? Are you going to steal my life, or are you going to inspire me into action? Remember, I said, look, it's not about that product you're selling. Sure, you were the one that did politics. Now you're doing something else. There's something inside that is bringing out those, what they call it, dimension, expressions. That is the person that you need to build a brand for, not those products. This man was a very ambitious man. What's his name? He's late now. Apple guy. What's his name? Steve Jobs. His goal was to make an impact in the world, not to build laptop. If you read about his book, is this thick. And he made sure that book, he knew he was going to die. He had cancer. He called the person who wrote that book. He chose the writer. Called the writer and said, you're going to write my story. This was an intentional man. His goal was to make an impact in the world, not build computers. And if he was to build computers, we won't be talking about him in this room today. So the person, we know Sabiam. Exactly. We don't know them. But we are still talking about Steve Jobs today. He wasn't even a Christian. Didn't even believe in God. He was just here and there. But just because that inside person wanted to make an impact in the world, he created a lot of expressions. Do you know that Apple, they sacked him? Yes. And they couldn't do without him. They brought him back again. That's the power of building a brand. People cannot do without you. So when it comes to content, it's not content creation today, 90-day content. So if you have this understanding, you won't be tied to Instagram page. If you understand the God that you're representing, you won't tie yourself to 1 million followers. He's a God that controls billions of human beings. And he created them. And it's not just human beings God controls. He said the affairs of men, things, universe, creation. He controls everything. So don't limit yourself to, if you have this mind, because it starts here. It starts here. Don't limit yourself to, that's why I can't, 16,000 followers. I'm still selling, no. I sell on WhatsApp. I sell physically. I'm still selling. 16,000 followers or not, my sales, this thing has been increasing. It's not tied to the number of followers I have. I've had that 16,000 for like 5 years. I'm telling you. I don't even know what they did to my, I said, did they ban, what did they call it again? Shadow ban. I don't know. So, but I'm coming. I just want to land. And you need to focus on building a community of people and be consistent. So it's not just, it's not just about your Instagram, and it's not about being tied to how many followers you have, or even Facebook, or even your website. Now, Pastor J raised what if your business is online? Now, business, one thing I've understood about business is in phases. These days, the structure or the journey of a business owner is you start online. most people finally get an office. Because online, because yes, where I am now, I can't be doing online alone. You need to move. So even if your business is online, there are so many other channels. And now that you have this understanding that you should not tie yourself to Instagram page and all that, you need to have a physical presence. So combining both, right? If your business is online and it's exclusively online for now, do what you can. But see, I didn't used to time when I had this, when God broke this thing for me, Instagram phone, you know, some people when they hack their page, it's like somebody died. I don't have that problem. She said program. I don't even have a choice. Once it's women convention, the whole month you won't see a post on my page. It's over until we come back. I focus on women convention media. Why I even have posts this year is because I hired social media managers. If not, my page will be, it will live follow. But by the time I come back from women convention, like she said, I know that thing. I know I've experienced it many times. You know, you have, because you were not serving man now. You're not serving man. So it's not about online. Yes, please have online presence. Me, I want that followership to grow. I'm tired of that 16,000. But, and the thing is that it's a rat race. You think Mark Zuckerberg wants you to be a billionaire with him? He doesn't want you to be a billionaire with him. So he has created a system that will make you to keep running rat race. You know that lab rats that they control it. That's what he wants you to every day. You wait, check. Hey, they didn't even like this thing. He wants you to be tied to that thing. And if you look in the spirit realm, human beings look like zombies. Oh, for this thing, me, like, I don't know how to put. I'm guilty. If you check the spirit realm, this is how we look. Some people, some of them, not me. Look, we're not saying don't go online. The important thing is, as you're building your personal brand, know what matters. Right? Yeah, you can. Know what matters. Right? Know what you place premium on. Right? Followers will come. Online, you build your online platform. We're not saying ditch it. Start from the right place. Start from the right point. Approach, like you said, God said, you're not getting it yet. Calm down first. Get this first and then come back. Even that, I'm also getting that message. There are so many things I need to knock into you before I give you 100,000 followers. Before you go and fall my hand. All it takes is one image, a few sentences. Did you understand? What you built will fall like a pack of cards. So, you know, online is very, very important. I'm not even going to, for the reasons that you all brought it, but it's very important to place premium on what really matters and know where you're coming from, because that's one thing the Holy Spirit is dealing with me on. He said, you want 100,000 followers. Who is your father? Is he gallivanting? In fact, the award that they gave me in Abuja, they said I should come and collect. I told my husband, I'm not going. Because the people who are really making impact are not busy gallivanting, collecting awards. I know that thing hit a chord on him, because I was like, should I book your flight? Are you going? I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. It's December. We are doing Thanksgiving service. And we have to plan welfare. Yes. So I'll now gallivant to Abuja to go and collect one thing. And then come and keep. So, yes, it's good, but somebody can do it on my behalf. Delegatable. What did you call it, ma? Important and delegatable. Somebody else can go and pick it on my behalf. And if I didn't come like that, nobody would take you seriously. That you gallivanted to Abuja, collected award for most influential natural hair person. It's good to your portfolio, but at what cost? At what cost? So he's laughing. So it's very important, because if I don't have this if I don't place premium on what matters, I'll run off. Award, hey, I can't miss it. Oh, I can't miss that show for anything. I must be there. They will call me and I will come. What? So I love that. It's good for me, but at what cost? So it's very important. If you understand the foundation, the basic, the time will come. We will collect awards. We'll be tired. We will be visible. We will be tired of the visibility. Time is coming. Time is coming. But you start. Build that thing. There's something I really wanted us to see. Okay, so can you move to the... So we've talked about authenticity, and so I want... Okay. I wanted to move it quite... Okay. So authenticity and relative... So as you're building your brand, you have to embrace your imperfections, right? You're not perfect. Don't paint yourself as someone. Paint yourself as somebody who is also on a journey. Do you understand? And feel free to share your struggles. People will identify with you more. Which example can I give? So there are two types of, helpers. There are the helpers who have experienced something. For example, let's say you're a weight loss coach, right? You look really trim and fit. Let's say you look like me, right? And you want to start the journey. So you can be like Ogo, right? That's your name. You can be like Ogo, who has gone through the journey and is taking somebody else on the journey. So you're sharing your past. But you can also be like somebody who is fat, taking other people, inspiring other people on that journey. I've forgotten what they call that kind of brand. But it's a brand that you're going through your struggles, but you're pulling people together with you. No, I'm saying somebody's fat. F-A-T. Anybody now. Me. I'm giving me
They somehow become your accountability partner.
Exactly. So feel free. You don't have to come correct all the time, right? But that doesn't mean you need to fall somebody's hand. But feel free to make mistakes and show that you made mistakes to your audience or to anybody, because these things happen. We are human beings, right? Embrace those areas, right? Embrace your weaknesses, embrace them. But Pastor Phoebe taught us something. Surround yourself with people who can balance out that weakness for you. Then what this does is that it helps to build trust and transparency. I mean, it helps to build trust with the people you're dealing with. Okay, this person is actually a human being like me. For example, I've grown my children's hair. My own hair is still behind schedule. Do you understand? But it still doesn't stop me from selling my hair product. It works. Somebody was telling me, but your hair has to be long. I said, do you know who owns Cantu? Do you know if her hair is long? But you go to the shop and you buy Cantu. Is her hair long? You don't know. Is it thick? You don't know. I had to talk the person down. I said, the brands that we've been buying, have you ever seen the owners? But they are selling market, making impact. Now.
They might not be making impact.
Oh. But we are buying it. We are buying into their dreams. We are buying into whatever they are creating. So sometimes you may not actually be the person, or you may not have everything figured out. Just be pulling people and be, this person looks like who? Okay, yeah, it's true. So we've understood this now. We're actually just racing through. So the next one. So case studies. Look at, these are how many images? How many? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16. Okay, there's one that is 2. Please, do I need to tell you that this woman is intentional? The glasses, the gray hair, the dressing, the pose, everything consistent. She's intentional. You see this gray hair is intentional. She's telling you that, look, we're not mates. Yes, she could have done it, but she left it. Look at the makeup. Is it not looking consistent? Is there anyone that is like this, like this? Consistent. The way she appears, the way she shows up, she's intentional. Her message, intentional. It did not start today. You can't tell me this woman started today. It don't take. Do you know, I just Googled, I said, you wrote a book, Ibuku Awoshika. I just Googled it. I said, oh, this is already a message. I just Googled Ibuku Awoshika. What can I say about her? All these images came up. I said, hey, see the glass itself. This is somebody that has intentionally said, look, this is how I'm going to show up. Look at the dressing, decent. She's a pastor. Okay, she's a pastor. Oh, I'm not surprised. A redeemed pastor. Eh? Oh yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. I used to think it was redeemed, but recently I saw her in the congregation in Fountain. So the way you show up matter. It matters a lot. It matters a lot, and you have to be intentional about it. So, if we just move to the next slide, I mean, it's still Ibuku. Okay. So, being intentional. If you look, when you Google her name, if you see Nigerian motivational speaker and author, it's not her. That's not business she does. In fact, I didn't know she was into furniture and all those things. This was what I knew her for first. But this is Google defining her based on her work. Because she has carved that, she has intentionally carved it that if you Google her name, that's what you will see. That's what they've now labeled her. So, I mean, that's basically it. There's a lot to say, but I hope we learned something. I hope we learned something.
Were you transformed? Has there been a mind shift? We'd love to hear from your feedback. Share your insights and connect with the P31W community. Contact us using the details on your screen.